Roller coaster simulators cost around £65,000 compared to £12 million for the real roller coaster. But are they an exhilarating ride in their own right? Well, Ortis has been a great guinea pig so far, so I've sent him on another mission to find out.
Simulators are usually capsules like these, which use a combination of motion and vision to fool your brain into thinking you're moving at speed. Most simulators work using a motion platform and a clever setup of hydraulics. These hydraulics give it 3 degrees of motion: heave, pitch, and roll.
So, simulators need great visuals as well as accurate movement. I'd be testing Ortis's reactions again to see how they compared with the real thing, and for this, I'd found 2 beauties. My first contender was the gargantuan Ortis simulator, a 5-ton mega capsule with a 5.1 speaker surround sound, an HD projector, and a 64-bit digital servo system controlling the hydraulics.
Just like on the real roller coasters, I was wired up to record my body's reactions.
The body senses changes in motion using fluid in the ear canals, which move tiny hairs inside. But when the hairs level out, you stop feeling the motion, and then you have to rely on visual cues. This means that by combining the right graphics with small movements, a simulator can trick you into thinking you're rattling along at speed.
Oh, we just jumped across a gap where there was no track at all. Whoa! I suppose that emphasizes the fact that the only limit to a ride like this is your imagination. Oh. So you definitely feel that elevation when you're going up a slope, as you would on a real roller coaster ride. But downhill sections weren't quite as convincing. I get a slight lurch in my stomach when we're going downhill, but not the same feeling you would when you're dropping. This feels real. We're on water now, and this is actually making me feel a little bit seasick. This is quite nausea-inducing, this water bit. Oh. That was actually much better than I expected. The film and the movement of the ride work together really well to give you the sensation that you are really on a roller coaster ride. I didn't get the same lunging sensation that I would on the real thing, but really, really good.
While Ortis was being transformed into a human colander in the name of Gadget, I'd found another simulator which I thought could top the lot. This is the X2. It's quite a small simulator in comparison to the Ortis or indeed a real roller coaster, but it's got some quite nifty tricks up its sleeve that I think Ortis might like. The X2 includes what are known as 4D effects, physical effects like wind, heat and thunder.
Oh, isn't she dinky?
Haha, he's got no idea.
Scream if you want to go backwards! Base in your face! Birmingham! Hold on to the safety bar. Yes. Launching. Oh, wow. The journey on this one feels a whole lot quicker. Now, there are fans on board this one as well, so I get wind in my face. When there's an explosion, I can feel the vibrations through the seat.
The X2 uses a 1200-watt car amplifier as well as 2 subwoofers attached to the seats for that roller coaster rumble.
Quite a bit hairier than the Ortis.
And it was even more realistic.
Okay, this is a massive climb. Do you know, I actually got a sense of the falling sensation there, just a little bit.
It may be small, size isn't everything.
That may be so, but the measurements would tell the real story.
I really like that, because you know I'm a big fan of simulation, and actually I thought the X2 was pretty impressive.
Well, it's interesting, isn't it, to try and compare the simulators to the real roller coaster that we tried out. I've got the test here. Come and have a look at the results then for the simulators. Again, we've got the heart rate, the grip and the adrenaline as before, exactly the same. The resting heartbeat 60 beats per minute on average, so pretty good. And look at the heart rate here on the Ortis and the X2. You've got a heart rate of 82 on the Ortis, and it went up to 100 on the X2. X2.
It's not bad, is it?
I'm a little bit surprised at that.
Yeah.
But also, if you look at my adrenaline levels, they're incredibly low, and that was because I felt secure.
But I think of all of the results here, the most interesting one is the grip here on the X2. That is £14 per square inch, and on the Apocalypse it was 17, so only just underneath. When you were terrified, that's a white knuckle ride.
The X2 really threw me about, and I wasn't strapped in. So, yes, it was a white knuckle ride, and I must have changed seats at least 3 times while I
I
was on
think
it.
it bodes really well for simulation, and this is an area of roller coaster technology that's just going to get more and more scary.